give you an idea of what really went on behind the scenes. Well, one example is getting this meeting to Walsh. Now, you would think that we put men on the moon, you know. We could certainly get a council meeting over here at Walsh. And so we have, as President Jusome had mentioned, we've been doing it, trying to get the meeting here, at least as long as I've been mayor for 13 years. And so we decided, Councilman Soretta, he serves as the liaison between the schools and between Walsh. And so he said, we've got to have a meeting at Walsh. And I said, I think it's a great idea. And I like to consider myself an optimist, but I'm also a realist at times. And so he said, let's put this together. So I think we just tried it a couple of years ago, and it all came down to the recording. We have a special recording piece of equipment that doesn't allow people to crosstalk. So it's like multiple recorders. So if two people are talking at the same time, it can pick up what each individual council member is saying, so that when you type out the meeting minutes, they're accurate. So the person's words are accurate. It doesn't come up as inaudible. And so, so there's been a number of times where we tried to do this meeting. And Mark, as you can see, he's a very strong-willed individual, right? And so he was in charge of getting this meeting together here, and I was behind him. I was supporting him. And then a week before, Mark, you were on vacation, right? And we determined, once again, we were not going to have the meeting here at Walsh. And this was after Councilman Soretta had talked to Mr. Akers and Mr. Jusome. And so I got a call from our administrator, said that Walsh is not going to happen. I'm like, why not? The recorder. Can't get the recorder over here. And I said, well, is everybody in agreement with this? You know, have you talked to Councilman Soretta yet? And he said, no, but I talked to the council president. He's going to call him. And let him know. I said, okay. Well, I thought, well, we'll see how this goes. And then about 20 minutes later, my phone's ringing, and it was Councilman Soretta calling me. He said, what's going on with the Walsh meeting? I said, well, did you talk to Jeff Peters? Yeah, he said they canceled it. I said, is that what he said, they canceled it? And he said, yeah, that's not going to happen. He said, we are having this meeting at Walsh. And he goes, there is no way I am going back to Walsh and telling them that this meeting is canceled. Do you know how much time and effort we put into planning this? And I was like, I understand. I'm with you. And little did he know, like, 10 minutes earlier, I was telling the administrator, well, it looks like it's canceled. Like, we're not going to do it again. And so I said, okay, well.
Backbone, dude.
Right. What's that?
Wishbone or backbone.
Exactly, wishbone or backbone. So Mark was thinking I was a wishbone, right, at the time. And I probably was a little bit of a wishbone at that time. So what I did was I called back the administrator and I said, we're going to have this meeting. We've got to, we put men on the moon. We can certainly find a way to hold the meeting at Walsh. So we started brainstorming and came up with having a court reporter and also Hoover High School, right? Our council president called to get Hoover High School videotape, because then we figured if we don't have that special recorder, we can at least, through the court reporter, through the video, that we're going to get this done. And so it was one person who was determined to do it, but it was everybody else then coming in behind, and so 1 minute I'm supporting the charge to, well, we're not going to have it. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's why we haven't had it for 13 years. And then when one person refuses to accept that, people start to rally around and you get it done.